Evolution of Wallace and Gromit villains. The first yet mild antagonist in the Wallace and Gromit franchise is the Cooker, which appears in the 1989 claymated short, A Grand Day Out. It appears as a white rectangular machine with an antenna and an oven-like drawer, as well as two hatches on its side that spring out arms when activated. In the short, it is shown to be very protective of the moon and become hostile when it discovers Wallace and Gromit have landed there and begun eating cheese, by trying to hit Wallace with a stick, and then chase after them, after Wallace unintentionally activated it by inserting a coin in it. It is also shown to be secretly dreaming of skiing on Earth and trying to do it on the moon. The next nemesis, named Feathers McGraw, appears in the 1993 claymated short, The Wrong Trousers, as the first true antagonist in the franchise. He is a small, highly intelligent criminal mastermind penguin who also disguises himself as a chicken by wearing a red rubber glove on top of his head. He also does not communicate with spoken words but with his facial expressions and body language. In the story, since he is very pragmatic, smart and opportunistic, in order to successfully complete his criminal plan to steal an expensive diamond from a museum, he first rents a room in the Wallace's house as a cover for himself, and then takes an interest in Gromit's Techo trousers, which he intends to use too. At the beginning, he tries to gain Wallace's trust by monopolizing his time and doing various nice things for him, as well as annoy and replace Gromit to the point of him leaving, which he uses to his advantage by freely accessing Gromit's trousers and reprogramming them for his remote control, and then trapping Wallace in them as a marionette, after which he disguises himself and proceeds to control Wallace to steal the diamond, but because Wallace tripped one of the lasers, his plan gets spoiled. After he takes Wallace back to his house, to avoid getting caught by the police, he traps Wallace and Gromit in a wardrobe, even using a gun to do so. However, eventually he's still defeated and imprisoned at the city zoo by Wallace and Gromit, making him extremely angry and desiring revenge. The next villain, named Preston, is featured in the 1995 animated short, A Close Shave, as a major antagonist. Here, he appears as a bipedal and stout dog, wearing a spiked collar and bracelets. In the story, Preston is shown to take care of his owner, Gwendoline Ramsbottom, who is an owner of a wool factory and a shop. However, soon he inexplicably goes rogue and plans to steal sheep for their wool before deciding to turn them into his own brand of dog food. To his advantage, he later encountered Wallace and Gromit at the shop, after which he followed them and discovered Wallace's knit-o-matic machine in their house, and then stole their blueprints so that he could build his own upsized version for shearing sheep more efficiently. However, his plans are soon threatened by Gromit discovering his undercover operation, after which Preston captures him, frames him to the police and causes his imprisonment. At the end, his entire enterprise is foiled by Wallace and Gromit, and during their battle, it is revealed that Preston is actually not a real dog but a smart robot who was created by Gwendoline's father and began malfunctioning. After his destruction toward the end, he was rebuilt by Wallace to be a harmless post-carrying robot. Also here, Feathers, in his disguise, can be spotted standing on a cliff. Next, Feathers McGraw reappears as a cameo in the claymation miniseries, Wallace and Gromit's Cracking Contraptions, in the episode The Telescope, being seen on a TV program. The next main antagonist, who's also the first to be human, named Lord Victor Quartermaine, appears in the 2005 first movie in the franchise, Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, voiced by Ralph Fiennes. Here, Victor appears as a cruel, aristocratic hunter who wears hunting clothes, as well as a black wig to cover up his baldness and makeup. He's also known for being incredibly arrogant, sadistic and greedy, as well as not caring for animal welfare at all, wanting to kill them with his rifle, hence why he's particularly unable to stand Wallace and Gromit's anti-pesto humane animal capturing business. As a display of his deep-seated greediness, he's shown trying to pay attention and eventually courting Lady Toddington, a wealthy and famous woman, but not truly loving her and only being interested in her money. Victor played his prominent role as a villain after Wallace had become the Were-Rabbit and intended to kill him himself, even after he learned that it was actually Wallace, showcasing his extreme violent tendencies. At the end, after his unsuccessful attempt to shoot the Were-Rabbit with a gold carrot, he was stopped by Gromit, who then dressed him in the rabbit suit as punishment for his crimes, and was sent to divert the mob from entering the tent where the real Were-Rabbit was, causing them to chase after Victor instead. Additionally, Feathers also cameos in the movie, being seen in a vase on the roof of a building. The 2008 animated short, A Matter of Loaf and Death, introduces the next major antagonist, who is also a human, named Piella Bakewell, voiced by Sally Lindsay. Here, she's initially presented as a seemingly sweet-natured, kind and polite woman who wears expensive clothes, jewelry, and makeup and lives in a mansion, due to her being very rich as a result of her former career as a glamorous Bakewell pin-up model, which ended because of her weight gain. However, soon it is revealed that she's actually a cruel, sadistic, and manipulative serial killer, obsessed with gaining trust and then killing bakers as revenge for her weight gain and intending to kill Wallace as well. She was also shown to be very violent and strict towards her pet dog named Fluffles, and also Gromit, as she would mistreat them frequently and would go to great lengths to achieve her goals. At the end, her assassination attempt failed because she was stopped by Gromit and Fluffles and then accidentally flew on her hot air balloon right into the local zoo crocodile enclosure, where she was devoured. Here, Feathers cameos as well, being seen on a zoo poster, saying that he's missing. In the 2024 movie sequel Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Fowl, Feathers McGraw appears again as the arch-nemesis of Wallace and Gromit, making him the first villain to make an official return. Here he again showcases his genius, criminal mastermind nature, and inventiveness when he manages to obtain information about Wallace's new invention. A smart garden gnome, Norbot, constructs a stretchable hand with which he then reaches a police officer's computer and reprograms the gnome to be under his control from the inside of his prison cell. Soon, the gnome that was reprogrammed created a whole army made of his copies, which, under Feathers' instructions, gathered all the necessary materials and built a submarine to free Feathers from his imprisonment at the zoo. After his escape, he manages to steal the diamond and also capture and frame Wallace and Gromit for his crimes, hoping he would be able to succeed this time. However, at the end, his nefarious plans got foiled yet again by Wallace and Gromit, even though he was fiercely fighting back. He eventually got fooled by Gromit into thinking he managed to succeed but actually didn't, although this time he still managed to run away.